Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Star Science. If you've not been subscribed to my channel, do subscribe and encourage me. Let's get into the video. Haematopoiesis. Haematopoiesis. Haematopoiesis means formation, development of blood cells into a matured cell. Now, for example, the cells are RBC, WBC, platelets. Now we are going to see in early life, in fetal or in embryo, where the hematopoiesis start occurring. Now I am going to show you in diagrammatic way where the hematopoiesis start occurs in embryo. At third week, we can see in yolk sac the hematopoiesis start occurring. In yolk sac, hematopoiesis are responsible for the production of WBC, RBC and platelets, and it start occurring at third week of gestation in embryonic stage. After third week of this embryonic stage, it start migrating from yolk sac to other parts, that is mesoderm. In mesoderm, you can see the hematopoiesis start appearing. In mesodermal aorta, where you can see hematopoiesis occurs, and after aorta, we can see gonad, mesodermal gonads, and mesoderm, mesonephrous. You can see these three places where hematopoiesis occurs after third week of gestation period. So after this, you have to remember the main thing. First, it started in the yolk sac, the production of the RBC, WBC and platelets. After it migrated from there to mesodermal aorta, gonad and mesonephron. So these three places are responsible after third week. From here, you can see it starts shifting from these two places, that is yolk sac and mesodermal aorta, gonad and mesonephros. And now after third month, means when it comes to the third month, you have to remember the fetal life where it shifts to the liver. Liver is having a most part of the hematopoiesis which occurs in a third month. So this is very much responsible. Liver is very much responsible for production of different types of blood cells, that is. And after third month, you have to remember with this liver, again you have another organ, that is spleen. It also shares some of hematopoiesis occurs in spleen. Especially you have to remember liver contains most part of hematopoiesis, and some part of hematopoiesis occurs in spleen. And from spleen you can see one more lymph node which is also as a less part of hematopoiesis. Means these three are very much useful for production of RBC, WBC and platelets in fetal life. And at this junction, you have to remember in early it started in yolk sac and it migrated from yolk sac to mesodermal aorta, mesodermal gonad and mesodermal mesonephros. From there, majority portions occurs in liver and some part in spleen and in lymph node. So you can remember these points. First, it started with yolk sac and it just migrated to the mesodermal aorta, gonad and mesonephros. From there it started shifting to liver, and it started to spleen and lymph nodes. After this, you have to remember, at 4th month of fetal life, from liver, spleen, lymph node, it start shifting to bone marrow, red bone marrow. So this is the place where the haematopoiesis occurs after 4th month. Until the birth, it start occurring in this haematopoiesis. And the main important thing is, after delivery, after birth of the baby, you can see haematopoiesis will not shift from this bone marrow, red bone marrow. It will be permanently fixed in this red bone marrow. In this red bone marrow, you have to remember, the haematopoiesis will occur here. It start formation, development into a different matured blood cells. You have to remember, this phase occurs in a bone marrow. And you have to remember, there are two ways of bone marrows. One is red bone marrow, yellow bone marrow. After birth, till 16th year of that baby, you can see every bone which has a red bone marrow. After 16, you have to remember, it is called as yellow bone marrow in the center parts of the bone. In head of the humor, you can see after 16 the haematopoiesis occurs, and you have to remember, these are the major importance of haematopoiesis. This haematopoiesis occurs permanently in red bone marrow. This is permanent till the death. We can see RBC, WBC and platelets are formed into mature cells in red bone marrow. Now we are going to see how the haematopoiesis occurs after 18th year. When red bone marrow and yellow bone marrow, when it came into the topic, you have to remember, I'm drawing now the bone. The center part where I'm going right now, I will explain in next video detailedly about this part of the bone marrow, and where you can find the yellow bone marrow, and edge part you can see the red bone marrow which start occurring where I'm keeping right now pen. There you can see the red bone marrow are present where the haematopoiesis are occurred in children above 16 years. So I hope you got the main meaning of the haematopoiesis from early till elder. You can remember now the points where the haematopoiesis start occurring. So after 16 years, as I said you, we can see in this part. After this, you have to remember what is haematopoiesis is. So the haematopoiesis is nothing but the formation, development of different blood cells into a matured cells. So right now I'm showing you haematopoiesis, how it starts from stem cells. You have to remember, it has a potential to produce different types of cells into a matured cells. Means in different stages it pass out and makes as a matured cells, and it also makes itself multiple replication of itself. This haematopoiesis having stem cells which is having ability to make different types of blood cells into a mature cells in different stages, and it also makes itself more count. I mean multiply itself. You can remember now the hematopoiesis are formation and developing of different blood cells, that is RBC, WBC and platelets into a matured cell is called hematopoiesis, and it makes regain to make a next process of developing red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. Now you have to remember or compare the hematopoiesis where the stem cells are able to produce itself, and it's also having ability to develop different blood cells into a mature cells, but the developed cells which is meant by the stem cells not able to make other cells, only it can make itself as a maturity. So this is the things you have to remember. So I'm showing you right now in arrow where hematopoiesis means stem cells, where it can regain itself by developing different blood cells. At the same time it develops itself, I mean it multiply itself to form the next formation and development of different blood cells. I hope you understand this video, and I hope you really helpful with this video. Thank you. I'm signing off right now. It's Robinson with care and truth of words. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you will watch the next video is coming up about the different developments of different red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. I hope you will see that.